Hi there. This is episode 4 of my podcast thing for Cast Project. My guest here, what's your name?
I'm Molly.
And how do you identify?
I am bisexual.
And are you a male or a female? How do you identify that way?
Oh, I'm a lady.
Lady, that's cool. Anything else you'd like us to know about you?
Mm-mm.
Okay, cool.
I got confused when you asked how do you identify. I was like, I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
just like as a person, like lady, sexuality, race,
Oh.
anything else you want to say.
Gotcha.
That kind of thing. And you did that. You're good. What's your favorite color?
I like purple.
You
The
like
best.
purple?
Yeah.
Would you like to explain why you're purple?
Why the tip purple?
Why purple's your favorite color?
One time I went to the museum with my grandma and there was this exhibit on Pompeii and I was wearing a purple sweater and the guy who was kind of like telling us about whatever we were looking at goes, you know, purple is a royal color. You must be a queen. And for the rest of the day, my grandma called me Your Majesty and
That's
I was really
awesome.
happy. So
That's really cool.
it's just a nice color.
That's a good color. Top
Yeah.
color.
Top color. What's your favorite color?
Yellow.
That's a good one.
Yellow is my favorite color. I say yellow and black because
bees.
like yellow is not the best by itself.
Mm.
It's still my favorite, but people understand better if I say black and yellow. So
That's the favorite colors of this kid that I babysit. So
I mean,
you and Stella
me-
are the same.
me, Zia, and Stella's
Stella.
little kid, all children,
Yep. All babies.
all like yellow. I am the least baby of all the babies
Nice.
because I'm large. What would you say is your favorite animal?
I really like pandas. Because I really just feel like if I gave a panda a hug, all of my problems would go away.
Fair.
They're just
That's
really
really fair.
squishy.
They're squishy. There's a lot of animals that are squishy though.
Yeah, but
You know?
pandas specifically just look
Pandas
kind.
look so kind.
They look so kind and they look so squishy.
I love
And the
pandas.
babies are dumb.
And
They're so dumb.
the babies are stupid.
The babies are stupid and I think that's funny.
And the adults are kind of stupid too.
Yeah, they just kind of like
They
veg.
roll.
They roll and they sit and they eat bamboo and that's it. And
That's
I would
their
like to have that
lives.
life.
I would love to live a life where like I didn't have to I didn't process like thoughts
Anything.
with language
Yeah.
so that like it's hard to understand stuff completely. And then I don't have to think about stuff.
Yeah,
as
that'd be
much
sick.
because I'm
A panda.
a panda. Being a panda would be awesome.
I would love to be a panda.
Dude, hell yeah.
They
Okay.
have no problems. Except for they do because they're almost extinct.
Yeah, not a problem.
It's
But
not
they
fun.
don't even care about that problem.
No, because they don't know.
They don't know. It's
They
only
know bamboo and my baby's dumb, and that's it.
but they're dumb, so they don't really know that other one. They just know bamboo.
This is perfect.
Okay, we're gonna do the real questions now.
Okay.
Not really that real, but so what would you say is the most annoying question that someone like a guy or a straight person might ask you?
One that I get a lot, which is weird. One that I got from my mom actually before she like really understood what bisexual was. She asked, "So have you chosen like which gender you're into?"
Is that how? That's not how that works.
That's not how that works. It's not how it works. But there's just like a misconception about that where
you choose.
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of connected with the like choosing sexuality. It's also it wasn't her fault that she asked that. She just hadn't
Right.
been educated on anything like that. It was a new term for her.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people, I've had comments on the street, not necessarily questions, but I've had like a lot of threesome propositions that have happened.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet bisexual people get that way too much.
Yeah. One time I was at a party and I was standing there and there was this really cute girl and I was like, that girl's really cute, just kind of aloud.
Right.
And this guy goes, I think so too. Should we all go upstairs? And I was like, no, we shouldn't.
Yeah.
No.
That's bad.
Leave me alone.
Go away, guy.
You stinky.
You stinky.
You stinky.
Man. And is there anything else super annoying or uncomfortable for you that happens regularly that you can think of? Or
I mean, I get, like, this is a lady thing, I think, but I think I get catcalled pretty often, especially if I'm, like, holding, you know, a girl's hand.
right.
A lot of the time we'll get, like, oh, that's super hot, or, like, yeah, like, weird stuff
Ew.
like that. Or,
Ew.
and, like, even really well-meaning people will be like, oh, my God, you guys are such a cute couple, or, like, you two are so brave. Which
Ooh.
is, it's sweet, and they're meaning it as
Yeah.
the best, it's from a good place. But it's also, like, you wouldn't say that if you saw a straight couple walking down the street, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So it's not
Straight
like...
couples aren't brave by being straight.
Yeah. And it's, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of the idea of presenting to the world that you're, like, quote-unquote woke without actually putting anything behind that.
Gotcha.
Which I think it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Not really cool, because it's really disturbing that people are like that.
I don't know. People don't really understand things that, you know, are different, and then they process it in different weird ways.
They don't. I mean, a lot of us don't understand anything other than that's outside of our lives.
Totally. It's really hard to.
Yeah. I mean, before I went to George, I went to an all-white school, like, my entire life.
Right.
And then I was thrown into this world where, like, everyone's not white, or most people aren't me.
Right.
And it's like,
huh?
I don't understand. And now after being at George for 4 years, I feel like I understand more about the world,
right.
About the people that don't look exactly like me.
Right. And also kind of the fact that your experience going from middle school to high school, where all of a sudden it was like, huh, not everyone looks like me, is the experience that most people have, like, every day.
Right.
Which is super weird. Just, like, I don't know. I think about this a lot, but the idea that there's a default human, like, that's always...
Yeah.
I feel like that's always an issue for me.
That's harmful.
Yeah, it's really
to
harmful.
think that that's a thing.
Because it's like, you know, by that extension, I need to come out to every new person I meet, or in every new space I'm in, or new job that I'm in, because, like, the default is that I'm straight.
Right. And then you show up with, like, a girlfriend one day, and they're like, oh, you're gay.
Oh, shit, like, what? Yeah.
And,
oh, am I allowed to make a bad word?
Oh, yeah, you can use the curse words.
Okay, I made a bad word, and it's
Khalid
fine.
and Zia both cursed a bunch, so
okay.
you're totally cool.
Okay. Good beans. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't mess up your whole thing.
No, you're totally cool. I mean, I think I've cursed the most of anyone on this stupid show. So.
Oh, sick.
Going to go to the next question. How do you think that growing up in a world in mainstream media was like me, who's a white guy, straight, they were just this one picture.
Right.
How do you think that affected you growing up?
I mean...
And still affects you today?
Yeah, to a big extent, I think for a long time I just straight up didn't know I, like, could have romantic and sexual attraction to a girl, like, at all, period. I had no idea that I was even a little bit gay until the end of sophomore year.
Wow.
Yeah, like, a lot of people, and looking back on it, like, I obviously have always been gay, because that's how it works, but looking back on it, I can tell, like, oh, I had a crush on this girl and this girl.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, it all makes so much sense. Yeah. No, but kind of, I had a bunch of friends when I was younger that had come out to me and were like, hey, I'm bi, or hey, I'm gay, whatever. But I just never associated myself with that until I, like,
you didn't
realized.
Understand, is what I'm hearing. You didn't understand that being gay was, like, an option because of the default person.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that you saw in the media, so you're like,
yeah,
that isn't real.
Exist. Yeah. And I also, oh shoot, I had a thing I was gonna say and then I forgot.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I'll
live. Yeah, I don't know. I just, the having, again, like, that default person is really hard. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, for a long time I have a really hard time differentiating between romantic and platonic interest, because growing up, if I had romantic interest in a girl, I would completely ignore it and view it as romantic interest.
Right.
Like, I had an elementary school friend, Casey Tanner, that I had a huge crush on our entire time, but I interpreted it as romantic. So,
but you had a crush on
I
her.
had a crush on her, I interpreted it as platonic.
Gotcha.
Because I didn't know how to have a crush on a girl, that I could have a crush on a girl.
Right.
And so now I'll meet people and start to have relationships with them, and it's really hard for me to distinguish whether I like them romantically or...
Because of the harm that was caused because of that relationship when you were little.
Well, and not necessarily
and
just that, but because I just grew up, and for me, romantic feelings for women were the same as platonic feelings for women.
Right.
As a way to kind of,
Cope.
Yeah, kind of get rid of the gay almost. And I am so lucky. I never grew up in a place other than my grandparents and their church, but that wasn't what I was around for the most part.
Right.
I grew up in a place where it was like, it's fine if you're gay. Like, I never heard anything about it, but I never heard anything bad about it,
Gotcha.
And I have an uncle who is gay and has married his partner now of like 20 years. So I've grown up in a family where it's super accepted, but I still had this internalized thing that kind of didn't let me understand what it meant to have romantic feelings for a girl or to be bisexual.
Gotcha. This has made me think about how when I was little, I heard that Macklemore song where the lady singing about I don't remember. She was in love with a lady.
Keeps me warm.
Yeah, that's the lyric.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I heard that, and I said to my mom, "That's not right. That's not how that works." Because I was like 6.
Right, you're like 6 and you don't know what's up.
I didn't know that was a thing, and then she's like, "No, that is how that works. That is intentional." And I sat there in the car at like Wendy's, and I was like, "What?
Huh?
This isn't. That's not real."
There's
and
the
then
gay.
I thought, and then reflecting on that, since I've had more gay friends or met more gay people,
Right.
as I've gotten older, that is, I realized that having that thought when I was little is an insane thought to have. Like, oh, that's allowed. Like, that I shouldn't have had that thought. That should have just been like normal for me. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
ladies can do that, whatever.
Yeah, and I think it's getting a lot better with like the amount of social media that we're able to consume, because there are so many more stories available to us,
Oh, for
whether
sure.
that be like people with different sexualities, people with different races, people with different genders.
Right.
And I think that to that extent, we've gotten a lot better in understanding everything that happens and like finding more and more representation for more and more different groups of people, which I think is really cool. But at the same time, like, I'm not a huge proponent. Social media as a bisexual lady and like queer social media
Right.
as a bisexual lady is kind of tough, because for like when I was kind of coming out, I first did it on the internet, because I was totally one of those like quirky, like,
Oh, no.
I shouldn't have been able to leave the house. I should have been
no.
I should have been put away. No, I was so cringy. I was on Tumblr all the time.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, horrifying. I like ran my own blog, and I started to kind of get into spaces. It was horrifying, you, and I cannot tell you the extent to which it was
I
the
don't want to
worst.
judge. This is a
No,
safe
you
space,
should judge me.
but,
You should judge me. It was
I mean,
horrifying.
I gotta judge.
Yeah. No, I was a demon child. I shouldn't have been able to leave the house. I walked around with cat ears, like on a headband. I wore cat ears.
You had the cat ears?
I had the cat ears.
Oh no.
I wasn't funny. I was cringy.
Oh no.
Me and my friend Gwen.
I'm glad you turned out well.
Thank you. Me and my friend Gwen went to Hot Topic one day and bought matching floral cat ears. Horrifying. Demon gremlin babies. This was my emo phase. I swear to God.
I don't think that counts as emo.
It was kind of like
This,
my
like,
lead
pastel
out.
emo?
It was the lead out of my
Okay.
emo phase.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so I started coming out kind of anonymously on different blogs, boards, I don't know what the word is,
Things.
but on the internet. And as I started to do that, there was a lot of gatekeeping that happened, basically, which means like I would say, hey, I'm bisexual, like, can I be, part of this community? Can I, hang out with you guys? And basically people would say, you're bi, you're not gay enough, which is crazy. And that, like,
People just told you what sexuality you
yeah,
were
no, people just
without
told,
ever meeting you.
yeah, completely, like, and thought bisexual, like, isn't a valid identity.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's crazy. But again, it's
You think
one
that
of,
people like in that situation would
Exactly.
be totally cool with other people
Yeah.
being
but it's kind of, it's another situation where people just come from places of either not understanding or just of, like, potentially good intentions, but really just misinformation, where for a lot of people, like, gay and lesbian people have had to deal with, like, being forced to be in relationships either that they don't want to be in because they don't have romantic attraction to their partner,
Right.
or being in relationships, same-sex relationships, where they're persecuted for it.
Right.
And the viewpoint from a lot of these people is, like, if you're bisexual, you get to, like,
You get to
be
pick.
in a relationship with a man or a woman. You can be in a straight relationship,
Right.
which isn't actually a straight relationship, but you can be in a relationship with someone of the opposite sex or someone of the same.
Right.
And so, like, that choice, I think, kind of pissed people off for a little while. Yeah, but that's definitely something that you still see to a great extent. Like, gatekeeping.
World is bad.
World sometimes don't be understanding shit,
It's hard.
It's hard.
Especially in the society we live in. It's
Yeah.
like they make it difficult for no matter who it is, unless it's me.
Yep.
Unless you look like me and act like me, you're not cool.
You're not good.
Bad.
Yeah, but I also do think it's getting better.
Yeah. It actually ties into my next question.
Oh, solid.
Do you believe that the idea of diversity that media companies like Disney are starting to apprehend to is legitimate and is helpful, or is it more harmful in the way that they're enacting it?
Like what?
With like the gay kiss at the end of Star Wars, and then the gay guy in Avengers 4, and then now there's the LGBTQ character in Onward, the new animated movie, and she's like a purple.
She's horrifying.
Demon thing. Like,
scary to look at.
Do you think that the way that Disney and other media companies are trying to enforce quote unquote diversity,
right,
is that harmful? Is it helpful to the same extent as it is harmful?
I think it's way more harmful than it is helpful. Like, it's really cool to be able to see that stuff.
Right.
But at the same time, like, you know, you can't call Star Wars a movie that promotes or supports queer identities because there's a kiss for like 2 seconds at the end of the movie.
Right.
And the benefit of representation is kids being able to see themselves. Mm-hmm. And thinking about it, if I was a kid and I had seen Star Wars, I probably wouldn't even have noticed that kiss.
Right.
You know? And I also think the way that companies and media is portraying it is that gay characters can't be the center of attention. Like, gay characters are always the fringe.
Right.
They're always just around. They're never what, the story is focused on, mm-hmm. which I think is also a problem.
Bit of a problem.
Like, you guys are allowed to be in the edges. You guys are allowed to, like...
You're allowed to be the best friend sometimes.
We know you guys exist, but y'all's not allowed to be what the story is about.
Like, there's a tier list of side characters of minorities, and there's, like, black side characters are number one, and then Latino or gays, and then everyone else.
Right.
And it's like, why can't they all just be the number one character? Like, these minority groups are always the number two, no matter what it is.
Yeah. So I think that one of my favorite shows that has had really good representation, in my opinion, is Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which love that show. But
Great
basically, Rosa is a main character, and she's bisexual. And I remember, this was before I was out to my parents, but I was, like, out to you guys, and I was out to, like, the majority of people. I was just scared.
Just scared of your parents?
Yeah, which there's no reason to be. I have the best parents, but, like, it's still intimidating.
It's scary.
Yeah, you're basically...
It's hard to talk to the people that you've known for the longest time in your entire life.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, but Rosa has this scene where she comes out and she says, I'm bisexual, and it's not even a big deal. Everyone's just like, okay.
That's how it is.
That's fine. And it goes through that whole thing with her. And I remember I had moved closer to the TV, and I was sitting on the ground, and I was sobbing, like, weeping, tears just streaming out of my eyes, because it was like I'd never seen a story where a gay character comes out and it's not a conflict,
Yeah.
Like, there's never...
I mean, they went through that episode... They did that episode with her parents later.
Right, they did that episode with her parents later, but
with her friends, it was totally chill. Like,
it was just Rosa. Yeah, that's just Rosa. And I think at that point I hadn't seen the one with her parents, but...
That was way later.
That was later.
12 episodes later.
Yeah. I don't know, but just the idea that you can come out and have it be a non-issue, I think that's so cool. And I would love to see a time where, people can come out and it's nothing. It's like, sure, like, that's you love who you love, your eyes are blue, like, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's a part of you, but it's not something that changes anything.
The person you are.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of the times it ends up doing that. Consciously or subconsciously. A lot of the times when people are first coming out, they'll shape themselves to fit whatever mold they think they should. Like, I did that. To a certain extent, I still do that. Like, I still, like, dress bisexual, and I still, mostly talk about dating girls. Like, I still warp myself into basically what I think a bisexual person should be.
Right.
But I'm working on it, and it's easier to not do that now,
That's good.
Yeah.
Coming from probably all of your friends, you don't have to do that. We support you
I know.
in anything else.
Yeah, yo sé. Pero la verdad is that, I don't know. Español. I don't know. It's easier sometimes to fit into a mold because you feel safe.
Gotcha.
Because that's just kind of the way that...
It's a security blanket.
Yeah, it's like a security blanket. That's just the way that our culture works right now. Is like,
Right.
if you fit into a mold, then that's cool.
That's your mold, though.
Yeah,
You don't
but
get to be
that's-
anything else.
Yeah, and I don't think that's good. I think that people
And
should
I
be
think
able to be
that
whatever
kind of
the
also
hell.
comes back to the diversity thing. Those
Yeah.
characters are just that thing.
They're
They-
just gay.
Right.
Period. That's their whole arc. Is that,
Hey,
look, we
she's
put a gay
gay.
person in
Look,
here.
they're gay.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
Look, you get a gay kiss. Look, you get a gay Cyclops monster.
That's it.
You get a gay kiss. Like, that's it.
But that's their character, though. They
Yeah.
don't have real emotions.
It's never a fleshed out person. And that's the same with, like, the conflict of coming out. Like, that being a conflict is, like...
right.
I don't know. It's hard to see stuff where it's, like, your identity is so hurtful, confusing, like, bad for other people that it has to be such a big thing. Like, that's hard to see.
That's bad.
Because I don't know. I just don't want that. That's exhausting.
Exhausting.
That's why I, like, didn't come out to most people. I just started dating a girl. I
Fair.
was like, I'm done. I'm just gonna
Fair.
do this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird to... It's weird to see representation that's so two-dimensional.
Yeah, for sure.
Because to a certain extent, it's like, yeah, kids are going to be able to see this.
Right.
Hell yeah.
But then again,
it's
also
like-
terrible.
Yeah, it turns people into the, like, ooh-woo, GSA club kind of people that, like, you know, if you see people in media who are only gay and that's their personality trait, that's what you're going to try to
That's
be.
what, yeah.
I don't know.
That's not good.
I don't know. It's just kind of frustrating.
I understand that.
Urgh.
Kind of new topic with question 7 here. What are your thoughts on people who, like, see a movie like Black Panther or see a movie like Crazy Rich Asians, and they're like, I really like that movie, but not because it was a good movie. Like, they didn't really like the movie, but they like it because, oh, my friends are totally represented in there. My gay friend or my Asian friend,
Right.
they were like, hell yeah, I saw that movie. I loved it because I'm represented in there. It's like,
yeah.
do you think that exists like super commonly, or that's kind of just annoying people, or that, and then along with that, how much harm does that cause because of them not just liking it because it's a good movie or a TV show or whatever?
I mean, I think to a certain extent right now, it's important to give support to movies and TV shows and media that are diverse, whether or not it's a good piece of media. So to a certain extent, I'm, like, totally fine with that, because right now we don't have very many movies where minority characters are, like we were talking about before, like, full 3D fleshed out characters. And I think that that's super harmful. And I think having movies where it's specifically, like, not only are we going to tell a story, we're going to tell a story through this perspective specifically. I think that's really helpful. And I think that, you know, if you don't like a film, there's nothing wrong with that, and you can say that. But you can objectively, you know, agree with or support or promote the fact that it has such diversity and, like, a good cast and, you know, whatever else. Because I think it's a totally real thing. I think, you know, seeing Love Simon was a big deal for me. I saw it with Zia, and then I cried for, like, an hour and a half afterwards. We were in a Burger King or like a Red Robin.
Oh, it was the Red Robin across from Harkins?
Yeah, the Red Robin across from Harkins. And I was crying and eating my burger. Period. But that's, yeah. No, but, and it's so valuable to be able to see yourself like that. So I think if we start shitting on movies that are focused on representation, like, that's nothing. We can't do that.
Don't do that. Bad.
Don't do that, period.
Bad.
But
Yeah, I don't
only
know.
movies that fully flesh out those diverse characters.
Yeah.
Or
And
TV
movies
shows
that are
or
good.
books.
Because, like, if I'm not going to go sit in a movie theater and watch, like, a terrible movie and go tell people it's good.
But would you say it's harmful for a person, like, if I were to go to Black Panther, be like, I fucking hate Black Panther, but my friends that are black really liked it, so therefore I like it too? Like,
Right.
do you think it's fair for people, do you think it's fair for people to pretend to, or, like, say that they like something even though they hated it because they're supporting their friends or
Right.
a group? Do you think that's cool, or is it kind of dumb?
I mean, I think right now where we are as a society, I think that it's totally fine.
Right.
In my opinion, just because it's like, how many movies do we have that are like that? How many movies have a completely black, a completely Asian, a story that focuses on a character but not their identity? How many times do we see that?
Right.
So I feel like if you hate it and you say you like it, like, I think it's fine right now.
Okay.
Hopefully someday we'll get to a point where...
Hopefully in like 20 years,
Yeah.
when at least half of the superhero movies are women or characters that
yeah.
aren't me.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can just be like, yeah, that movie is kind of terrible.
Yeah, like that movie. Yeah. Because if you say the movie's always bad, like, you're going to fall into the, like, Captain Marvel thing where all the bros were like, I hate
terrible.
Captain Marvel. She's not sexy and I couldn't see her titties. Like,
Yeah. Here's
you
the
fall
thing.
into that.
You didn't have to
You didn't
to
have
think
to.
that,
no.
but, you know, then you still you still think you're a little creepy if you think that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You know? Like, totally.
It's
if you didn't
difficult
like
because of
Captain,
that thought.
Yeah. If you didn't like Captain Marvel, totally fine. But just don't join the people on social media that were like,
That hate the SJWs or
yeah,
whatever they say.
Yeah. Just don't join the people on the internet that are like, I hated it. It was not sexy enough, and she was a woman. Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
do that.
There are totally valid criticisms of movies that can be completely non-related to race or anything like that. That dog is nibbling my arm. Puzzle piece.
I'll cut that out. What person to you has done the most for people in your community recently? Like, with that, do you think there's any people, or no? Do you think there's like a group of people that might be helping the bisexual community or women in general?
Yeah.
Is there like a place that is being more supportive than what is regular
Yeah.
at this moment?
I think, and this is just because I was gonna say bad words. Oh my gosh,
It's
so
okay.
neat.
Bad words are good.
I'm a slut for Planned Parenthood. Love Planned Parenthood. But right now they're doing a whole initiative where basically they're trying to give queer inclusive sex ed to like all middle schoolers, which is so cool because you
Yeah.
have to think about, like, from the beginning we are told, like, in sex ed classes we're told, like, gay or not, we never learn about anything gay. We
Not
never
a
learn
single
about
thing about
we
gay.
never learn about homosexuality.
Then again, I
And-
didn't learn anything about straight people.
Yeah.
Sex.
Sometimes
but-
we learn nothing, which is frustrating.
Right.
Sex ed is so important, and I literally did my cast project about it.
That's what my cast project is.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
That's crazy.
But they've got a lot of stuff that's specifically about, like, different gender identities, different sexualities, different, you know, I don't know.
People.
It's such a good resource for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And they're putting so much time and effort into making sure that it's so accessible for everyone. And I think that if we are educating kids and starting this, like, from the ground up, like, starting learning about kind of queer communities from the moment you are taught about sexuality as a whole,
Right.
like, it's just so much more normalized.
Right.
And I think that that's so hugely important. Yeah, that's kind of like, if I don't end up being one of my other 10 other, like, perfect careers, I want to work for Planned Parenthood and, like,
It's
bring,
so hard to pick a.
It's so
thing
hard
to
to
be.
pick.
It's hard to pick even a college, let alone
Yeah,
a major, and
that's
let
some
alone
tea.
a career.
That's some tea.
That's a different conversation. We're
That's
not
a-
supposed to be doing that right now. And then again with that type of question, is there any people or groups that may have been hurting your community while thinking they're helping?
Listen, I love Mayor Pete. Mayor Pete's a king. But although Mayor Pete isn't always a king, Mayor Pete does some stuff that I'm like, Mayor Pete, stop. For example, he endorsed a candidate that I'm not a huge fan of.
Job.
Job. But he, you know, was the first openly gay person trying to be a presidential candidate.
I had no idea he was gay.
Oh, really? That's so funny.
It's the first time I've heard of it.
Yeah, no, he was super gay.
Oh.
Well, he is. He's not dead. He just dropped out of the race.
he was the first gay candidate person.
Yeah,
openly.
He was the first hopeful to be gay. Openly. Yeah, I'm sure there have been a million. George Washington, I'm looking at you, homie. And that was super cool.
Right.
However, he said some stuff that was so buck wild. Like,
bad.
Huh?
Bad.
It was super, like, one of the things that he said that, like, really, really, really hurt me was he was either doing a town hall or some debate. I do not remember which, because I've seen most of them and they've all blurred together into one conglomeration of just, like, sadness for me.
Sadness.
Just people screaming at each other and me being like, no, please.
We're all friends.
Please just, like, get the orange out of the office. Lord.
Anyway.
No, but he said at one point, if there was a pill that could make me not... Yeah, if there was a pill that could make me straight, I would absolutely take it. And I totally understand where he's coming from. I felt like that for such a long time.
Right.
Especially, like...
I'm sure growing up in this society, that is a thought that goes through everyone's mind.
Yeah, and I have my grandparents, who I love to death, believe me. The same grandma who is the reason why purple is my favorite color.
Right.
Her and my grandpa went to a super homophobic church when they lived here. They clearly were not supportive of any gay communities or anything like that.
So do they know?
They don't. And unless they are alive when I get married to a woman, like, I don't think they will know. Just because it would cause so much drama in my dad's side of the family.
Gotcha.
It would take them so long to have to deal with it. They don't live here. I don't know. It would just be a whole thing. They probably won't end up knowing about it. Which sucks, because
that really
sucks. I wish I could share that with them, but it just isn't an option, you know?
That sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
That really sucks.
Yeah. It's not,
you can't be
fun.
the person that you are because of the society and world you grew up in.
Yeah. And I can still, like, be myself. I can still be Molly around them, but they're missing a whole section of it. It's like if I walked up to someone and they couldn't tell what color hair I had, or, like...
Or you had to hide your hair from them.
Or I had to hide my hair from them, or whatever.
Which is also a thing that happens.
Yeah.
Which is terrible. Unless they're cool with it.
I don't know. It's a weird thing.
Right.
What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Mayor Pete, take the anti-gay pill.
Yeah.
And I have felt that before. Like, sitting in a pew, listening to a preacher spit hellfire at me because I was going to go to hell because I, like, sometimes like women.
Right.
I would have taken that pill at that moment.
Fair.
And it's so harmful for kids to hear that, because it's always... Sure. Like, I don't feel that anymore. I wouldn't ever in a million years want to not be bi. Number one, ladies are way too cute. And number two, yes. I don't know, it's just a part of me. It would be like, taking away all my hair. Like, there's no reason to get rid of it.
Right.
But there's this huge narrative that, like, it gets better. It gets better.
Right.
In the queer communities, in, like, mental health, like, like, all those kind of spaces. And Pete, with that one comment to all of the kids who are watching with bated breath, like, look at this man go. He is running for president and he's gay. Like, it's a lot. Like, what? Hearing him say that was really, really, that sucked.
It was tough.
It was tough because it's like things haven't gotten better for him. Not completely. And for him living in a place where he wasn't as supported as I am, like, and me, when I move away, I will probably also have to deal with this. But the idea that, like, every time you are around someone, they have to be dealing with the fact that you're gay, and you have to deal with the fact that they're dealing with that fact, because everyone deals with it differently. Yeah, I don't know, but Mayor Pete, to a certain extent, did some good stuff. To a certain extent, fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
As most things are, shades of gray.
People can be bad people and also be good people.
Yeah, it's weird.
People, man.
People, man, is wild.
All All right, question number 9. This question is a little different from the rest.
That's chill.
Who is your role model?
My mama.
Why would you say that?
Well,
your role model?
Is my mama, because number one, she deals with all my bullshit. And there's a lot of it, Lord knows. She's the strongest person I know, period. She was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was in 7th grade.
Wow.
And not for a second did she let it ever affect Zachary. She sat us down and she said, listen, guys, like, I got this diagnosis, but I am going to be okay. I have great doctors. It's early stage. I'm going to be fine. And she did that for us, you know? Like, she, in this time where, like, literally the hardest thing you can hear, like, you have cancer, she heard that, and then she didn't give it to Zach and I.
Wow.
Like,
Amazing.
She's such a cool person. And she also has taught me to a great extent. I love Susanna so much. She's taught me, like, I never have to get money or supplies or materials or anything like that to be happy. She's always taught me, like, it is always the relationships that make life worth living. And I'm so grateful to her for that, because I think a lot of people kind of get caught up in the material gains.
Yeah.
And things like that, and then lay to the wayside, like, their friendships, their
Like,
relationships.
at like 80 years old, they're like, oh, shit.
They're like, shit, I'm sitting here in, like, a big house. I've got a nice car that I used to drive.
Right, they don't even drive it anymore.
No, because they're 80.
Not allowed to drive.
They're not allowed to drive. Old people suck. No, I'm just kidding. Stupid.
No, but
you should
like,
get an old person on your podcast. I'm single-handedly oppressing them.
But you're aware of it, and you are
No, fuck old people. No, yeah. It's not a real belief I have.
Right, yeah, of course. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I love my mama very much.
Um,
She also deals with she has bipolar 2, which isn't the one where you have depressive and manic episodes. She just has depressive episodes.
Oh.
And dude, she is living with a husband she loves. She's living with her best friend who she got to marry.
Right.
She's got 2 kids that she loves with all her heart. She's got a job that she loves. She's so successful and she's so happy. And, like, as a person who's, like, really having a hard time with mental health, like, she did it. And she keeps doing it. And it's, like, so... I, like, don't know where I would be if I didn't have that role model, honestly. Because it's so hard to ever think, like, things will get better when you're doing really badly. But, like, things got better for my mom.
Right.
And she's so happy and she lives, like, her dream life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I can get there someday. And so I love her very much.
Aw.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has not answered their mom. I mean, I think Khalid's was kind of a joke.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
everyone else, like, Khalid didn't answer his mom. He answered...
Your mom.
No. He
No?
answered... I shouldn't be talking about other people's episodes in another... But...
Meta.
He said... Whoa.
Whoa.
Deception.
Podcast
He said... The dude who made the depression episode... The depression song... He said that guy and then Lil Nas X. And then we tried to turn that into a real conversation, so it was a little...
Right.
But everyone else has answered their mom. And I feel like that might be a trend that everyone might follow by the end of this.
Yeah.
Because everyone loves their mom. And
Yeah.
people who are socially conscious and available and, like, are nice and good people tend to have really good moms.
This is true. Yeah.
I think we've talked about this before. Me and Zia talked about
Also,
this.
my mom is a straight up badass. So.
My mom too, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, moms.
Moms, they push whole lives out of their coochies. And then those lives grow up and get sentient. Like,
And then they make new people out of their coochie.
what? Obviously, moms are all of our heroes. Obviously.
Yeah. Heroes.
Heroes.
Thanks, Mom, for life.
Thanks, Mom.
Okay. New question. What am I now? Okay. Number 10, last question. This one's a little weird, so you don't really have to answer
No,
it.
I got it.
Do you think that people like Ellen, for you, it would be Ellen, Oprah, Colin Kaepernick, Shaquille O'Neal, Jennifer Lopez, who are parts of minority oppressed groups,
Yep.
do you think those people that are representatives or like the face of your group or that are seen as role models for their communities, are they able to represent those communities effectively anymore due to age, the fame they have, and the separation from the community that they are in at this point?
Right. Listen, this happened with Ellen, and I forget who she was like hanging out with. But
George
it was
W. Bush?
George Bush. I don't like George Bush.
George Bush bad.
George Bush did a lot of stuff that actually did genuinely hurt the gay community. He was a person, I looked this up for my dad because we had an argument about it because me and my dad
Oh,
are.
boy.
Yeah. Well, just because my dad and I.
Oh, this is probably why I saw that tweet, because of you.
Yes. My dad and I are on complete different ends of the political spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, kick the rich. And he's like, hey, listen, no government. Let's all just do capitalism.
Oh, man.
And that's an exaggeration, but my dad is also an excellent person, and I love him very much.
Of course.
Obviously. But we were having a discussion about this, and George Bush didn't want to pass gay marriage. He did things with HIV and AIDS that were
Bad.
really not great for the community. It was like mini Reagan. And I have thoughts on Reagan, and I will not get into it because we will be here for 3 hours.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
be here for 3 hours.
No, I don't want to be here for 3 hours. I want to take a nap.
Nap time.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that at the point at which people are become super famous, super wealthy, it's really hard for them to connect with actual issues that are going on.
Right.
And I think that having them as the face of certain communities is really hard because it's like that's not representative of
Right.
this community because no one person can be representative of any community.
Especially when it's just one person,
And
like Ellen, or
yeah,
like,
and one uber rich person,
right.
right, who has kind of been able to
Because like,
escape.
there's a bunch of black role models nowadays. They're on all the ends of the spectrum,
Yeah.
and it's like we can see all of like black. We think it seems to
different
like
stories.
all the stories of the black story is present in our media, even if it's to a little extent.
Right.
Whereas for like Indians or for gay people, or lesbians, it's Ellen.
Yeah. Like the people that I can list off the top of my head that are like YouTubers or social media people, the gay women I can think of are Ellen and Haley Kiyoko. Love Haley Kiyoko.
She's the one on Big Bang Theory.
No.
Oh, that's a different one.
I don't know who that is. Also Jamila Jamil, who I love. No, but Haley Kiyoko.
Yeah, I don't know these names.
Jamila
right?
Jamil is an actress. She's in The Good
Oh,
Place.
Jamila, I like her. She's
Haley
cool.
Kiyoko is a singer. She sings and she's super gay. People call her lesbian Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that it's really reductive to have any one person
For sure.
like be the face of anything. So I think that's almost always harmful.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks for this conversation. It's been really, really awesome. I
Yeah.
learned a lot actually, and
Nice.
thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me
at Zia's house.
Thank you for podcasting me at Zia's house.
Yeah, of course, dude.
Yeah, of course, dude.
Thanks for helping my cast project.
Yeah.
This is now